So, Red Dead Redemption 1, it's arrived on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Now, this video is going to be a review, my review, an honest review of Red Dead Redemption 1, and this is on PlayStation 5, so I've been playing the game. Obviously, I'm near the beginning, and I've been checking out the settings and everything like that, just playing through, testing a few things. And we're just going to be sort of reviewing the game. Now, first of all, the game comes in at £40 and $50. So, obviously, it is a fairly high price. Not a AAA price, of course, but it is a high price. Now, I was expecting, I'd say £30, $30, something like that. Or I would have been fine with £40 and $50 if it had been an actual next-gen version of the game and more of a significant improvement to the game. But unfortunately, that is just not what we got. Now, this is a PS4 version. This is the PS4 version of the game, but playing on PlayStation 5 through backwards compatibility. Now, the game is PS4 Pro enhanced. However, it's certainly not PS5 enhanced since, well, there is no next-gen version, and the game runs at 30 frames. Now, first of all, with that £40 and $50, what you're getting is just Red Dead Redemption 1. You are getting Undead Nightmare as well. It's basically sort of a complete edition of the game. However, there is sort of a big but to that because you don't actually get the multiplayer. So you're paying more than what you paid before for the same experience, really, but without the multiplayer. So a bit of a weird one there. Obviously, makes it hard to justify that price. Now, when you're downloading the game, the PlayStation 4 version of the game is 10 gigabytes. I couldn't tell you about Nintendo Switch. I will be doing a video on it on Nintendo Switch later down the line, but I haven't got it on Nintendo Switch yet. But I assume it won't be that much storage. But so, yeah, it's £40, $50. It's a PS4 version of the game. It's 10 gigabytes. It comes with Undead Nightmare and, of course, the base game. And there is no multiplayer, unfortunately. So, now, in terms of the experience, so this is 30 frames per second, which is obviously unfortunate, and it is 4K though, so there is that, and I will talk about the graphics very soon, but obviously, I was really hoping, and I was still, curious whether it would be 60 frames through backwards compatibility, because some PS4 Pro enhanced games do actually have 60 FPS over on PlayStation 5, but, well, unfortunately, we just don't have that right now. So, I say right now as if we're ever going to get it, but realistically, I can't see that being the case. Now, when it does come to 30 frames per second, I don't think it's unplayable. I don't think it is. But what I do think it is just not really up to the standards of 2023. And for this to be releasing in 2023 as a sort of, well, what should have been a remaster of an old game, of course you're going to expect 60 frames per second, otherwise you're not improving it in any way. What's the point? And of course, well, they didn't remaster the game, which I'll get onto soon. So yeah, 30 frames per second, 4K is nice. Now let's talk about the graphics. So in terms of the graphics with Red Dead Redemption 1 on PlayStation 5, I don't think they look bad at all. I think these graphics are nice. Obviously, you're getting the higher resolution than what we got on PlayStation 3 and, of course, on PlayStation Now. But I don't think these graphics are bad at all. I actually do think that they are quite nice. When I was just playing through the game, the first cutscene and stuff, I thought, oh, the graphics, to be fair, aren't that bad. These look quite nice. This definitely makes it a more playable experience. And obviously, not up to the standards of, well, I wouldn't say it's not up to the standards, but obviously compared to some 2023 games, this this has nothing on them. But I don't think it looks bad at all. It doesn't look like an absolute potato. It actually does look quite nice. Some of the views, some of the sunsets aren't bad at all. And I think even on PlayStation 4, you'll get a good experience in terms of graphics. And if you are on PlayStation 4, then I think it is good, to be honest, since of course, if it was going to be actually remastered and have a next-gen version, chances are it still would have been 60 frames over on PlayStation 4. So I think if you do have a PS4, the price is ridiculously high, but it's actually not a bad experience. I think that is where it's not bad as such, since realistically, yeah, if you were to get an actual proper remaster, then I think what you're getting on PS4 now is what it would have been like. But of course, the disappointing part is not having that multiplayer, in my opinion, since the multiplayer was pretty good fun back in the day on PlayStation 3. So, yeah, that is sort of a disappointing bit there, but I don't think the graphics are bad. They have been slightly improved. You can notice some of the improvements, particularly in the resolution side of things, and it does just look, there is much more clarity. It does look nice. They're not bad at all. Now, of course, this does actually have the same controls and everything as Red Dead Redemption 2, so I think now it's really nice that you could just play through all of Red Dead Redemption 2 on PlayStation 4 or 5, and then go ahead and play through all of Red Dead Redemption 1, following that story along. And of course you could do that on Xbox, but you could do that already over on Xbox. Now, a disappointing part is, of course, it's not a next-gen version, so that means there is no haptic feedback on the PlayStation 5 controller. Some people don't like that. On a story game, I quite like it. It's when it comes to multiplayer games where I'm not a big fan of it. But when I'm playing a story game, to feel immersed, I really do think that having haptic feedback can help with that. But of course, we're not getting any of those next-gen features because it's not a next-generation game. And then, of course, yeah, so we do have some settings here. Now, usually with a next-gen game, of course, you get the option to go for a graphics mode where you get to prioritize the graphics, and then usually that brings it down to 30 frames. And then, of course, you do get the performance modes where you get 60 frames, usually at 1080p. And literally the only sort of setting here that you get is the anti-aliasing. You can change it to FXAA, and just as a little tip here, definitely have it on FSR. So this is it on FXAA, and you can really see that it looks much nicer when it is using that upscaling technology of FSR2, which you can see right here. And I assume that is exclusive to PlayStation 5. I'm not sure, I haven't played the game on PlayStation 4, but my guess would be that this menu right here, oh well, this menu of course will be there, but this option here might not be there on PlayStation 4. But either way, yeah, if you're on PS4, then I think it's a good experience, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's sort of the main gripe there in terms of it not being a next-gen game. You don't get that haptic feedback in any of those next-gen features. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's just RDR1. You're getting Red Dead Redemption 1. If you want to buy Red Dead Redemption 1, you're happy to pay that price, and you're not bothered about getting all these fancy features. You just want to play the game, or maybe you're on PlayStation 4, and you just want to play the game for the first time, since you didn't have a PlayStation 3, and you didn't want to play it through PlayStation Now, which I don't blame you, then it's not going to be a bad experience. You're getting, well, you are getting what you pay for. I mean, you really should be for that sort of price, but, yeah, so in terms of just, you want to play RDR1, you haven't played the story before, or you want to replay it for, you know, the first time in a while, then you are going to be able to do that. At the end of the day, this is Red Dead Redemption 1, and you're able to play it over on the newer consoles. And of course, yeah, since it's not been available on the newer PlayStation consoles such as PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Now, if you are on Xbox, then you're the lucky ones, because of course you've already had this since basically day one, where you can play it at 4K 60 frames per second and at a fair price as well. So yeah, it's a tricky one really, since I don't think it should be the price it's at, and it's hard to recommend the game with the price point. If it was at a lower price point, maybe £20, since of course it's literally just a re-release, then I think it is justified. Or £30, I'd say even that is also fairly justified. Obviously, realistically, no matter the price, we should still be getting a next-gen version of the game, or at least 4K 60, since that's what it already is on Xbox. So yeah, it's obviously a hard one to justify. Now, what I would say to do is wait for the physical release. If you have a console that accepts discs, I would wait for the physical release, and then obviously when it comes to a physical release, the game goes on sale fairly quickly and get it used and everything like that, and it comes in at a cheaper price. So if you can get this for a cheaper price and also get the physical copy, then I think that is the best option, since it will be cheaper, and I think at a cheaper price it's worth it, since yeah, it's Red Dead Redemption 1. That's all I can say. I'm not going to say it's absolutely awful, because at the end of the day you are getting a good game. Red Dead Redemption 1 is a very, very good game with a fantastic storyline that continues off of what was a fantastic storyline with Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you're looking to just play Red Dead Redemption 1 in 2023, you don't have an Xbox to experience the game, since of course that's where the experience is the best, then this is the best way to do it. You're on PlayStation, you've not played the game before, you want to play it again after not playing it for a long time, and you're okay with paying the high price, or you're going to wait for a sale, then I don't think you'll be unhappy with it. Providing you can get used to the 30 frames and you're okay with it not being a next generation version, then I wouldn't say there's any issues. At the end of the day, like I've said many times, it's Red Dead Redemption 1. You are just getting the game, and you're getting Undead Nightmare as well. But yeah, I would just say wait for that price to go down. Or if you have an Xbox, just don't buy it. Just play it on Xbox, since it's cheaper and you're getting a better experience. And if you're on Nintendo Switch, then I haven't played it on there yet, but I have no doubt that if it is, a playable experience at 30 frames and it doesn't look absolutely awful, then at the end of the day, you're getting the experience of the game on a handheld console. There's not really much to complain about there, since of course on Nintendo Switch, you're never going to get the best of the best with graphics and frame rates, and obviously you're getting a very, very good game with an open world, lots to explore, on a small Nintendo Switch console, which is great. There's nothing to complain about on that side of things. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say about Red Dead Redemption 1, and that is my review. It's hard to really review it unless I just went on an entire review of the actual game, since it is the exact same. I'm just talking about this review, sort of the game on PlayStation 5, the experience. And look, if you haven't played the game before, like I've said, then it's definitely worth picking up if you can get it on sale, since it is a great game, and I think it's a game that most people should experience at some point in their gaming career. But yeah, the disappointing thing as well is it's not on PC. I would love for this to be on PC. I think that PC players, there's obviously people out there that have a PC and don't have a console, and they can't even play Red Dead 1. So yeah, no, it should. I really want it to release on PC, but at the moment, of course, that doesn't look promising. So yeah, it's not bad for the price and what we could and should have got with Red Dead Redemption 1 on PlayStation 5. It is a bit bad, to be completely honest with you. But the Red Dead Redemption 1 experience, of course, the game itself is a good game. It's just that we could have had a better way of playing this game in 2023. But yeah, obviously the price is high, but on a sale, then I don't think it's that bad of a deal. I would just say buy it on sale if you want to play Red Dead Redemption 1 for the first time, or replay it if you don't have an Xbox. And yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. That is my review of Red Dead Redemption 1 on PlayStation 5. Now, on screen now, you are seeing a link to a different video. Hit the link on the screen if you are interested in watching that.